Hey everyone, today's video is going to be about the competition I competed in last weekend, Foothills NxNs 2023. The competition comprised of 3x3, 5x5, 6x6, and 7x7. I did really well on 3x3, not the big cubes so much because I didn't practice them, but I did get a really good 3x3 average, and I did podium in one of the events, so make sure to stay tuned for that. The competition started off with 5x5. My first off went really well. For context, I averaged about 130 at home, so a 120 is really good because my overall PB is a 117. This 120 really helped carry my average because it made my 122 in my second solve count. But, of course, the 120 and the 122 carried the average for a 127.43 PR average, placing me 10th in the round and advancing me to finals. Next up, we had 3x3 first round, and I would say this is the best round I've ever done in 3x3 in all my competitions. So I've got a story for you all. Story time with CubeWiz. Oh yeah. Okay, so the day before the competition, I was practicing 3x3 as one does, but my main, as you probably know, my Tangian was upstairs. And I cube downstairs on the computer downstairs, and I had my Tangian V2, which is my backup cube that I don't use really anymore. It was my old main until I got my Tangian, and I switched over, but I just decided to use my Tangian V2 because it was right there, so I just practiced with that because I decided it didn't really matter what cube I used. So yeah, I warmed up with I practiced with my Tangian V2 that night, and it actually went pretty well, so I decided that I might as well, since it's first round, it's like top 60 or 70 advanced next round. I knew I was definitely advancing, so I thought I might as well try the cube because it was working well the night before, and, well, I got my first ever SUB-9 average in competition, so I'd say the cube served me pretty well. Next up, we've got 7x7. Well, actually, we've got lunch. We went to Edo. Edo was good. And then we got 7x7. This was the first event I've ever competed in where I had to actually worry about cutoff. Like, I've never had to worry about cutoff in my life. I didn't even realize there was a cutoff till I was going up to compete. It was like 4-minute 45, but we were ahead of schedule, so they bumped it back to 5-minute 15. But I averaged like 6 minutes, so I knew I probably wouldn't get it. My PB is like a 5:30, so I wouldn't get it. So I decided, why not? I'll try to use Yao because I use Redux normally. So I was like, I might as well use Yao because maybe it can do something magical and get me past the cutoff. It did not go very well. I got a 7-minute 15-second solve. After 7x7, we've got 5x5 finals. This was a much less fluky than 5x5 round 1. After 5x5 finals, they had a 3x3 round 2. It went not great. I think it was a mix of things. I decided to switch back to my old cube for some reason. my NxNs, the one I always use, because I was like, why not? I might as well try it. Even though I don't know why I did it, because I got my first ever SUB-9 average in my first round, but I decided to go for it anyway. First 3 solves were terrible. That was just not going great, so I decided to switch over to my NxNs V2 again. I got an 1125, which was just not good at all. I think it was just because I just switched cubes, I wasn't quite used to it. Then I got a 998 on my final solve, which is still slow. And I ended up getting a 1087 average, so not my best at all, but luckily I did make it into finals. And finally, we've got 3x3 finals. It was a great round. I could have done better than I did. The average sort of fell apart at the end. It was really close between second, third, and fourth place.